All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC. We'll take a look at Bitcoin on a macro level. We'll take a look at it in terms of Elliot wave and all that good stuff, and what type of price action we could be anticipating over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months going into the second half of 2023, right? And all that good stuff, right? So give me a 589 if the sound is good before we dive into the analysis. Right. So let me know if the sound is good before we jump into the good stuff and all that. All right. Oh, we got Strength in the house. It's been a while, man. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We got Pablo S Crypto in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. All right, guys. So we'll start off with the Elliott wave perspective regarding BTC and the current macro level we currently experiencing and all that good stuff. Okay, the big pump we got from 15k 16k area after price action completed the last wave to the downside, and now it is pushing back to retest our X right here, which is our August 2022 resistance, just about like a 25.2 25.3, but just for Leroy we will say 25k, right? So just about like a 25k. So what are we looking at right now? Okay, so we know, we talked about it in early January, we knew we had a 5-way structure, and most people, let me just go ahead and do a quick overview, right, regarding these 5-way structures, because if you even some Elliott wave analysts, right, they tend to be confused with these 5-way structure, right? So whenever you get a 5-way structure to the upside, right, let's just say to the upside so we can make it easy for Leroy to understand, right, and all the Leroys, right? So whenever you get a 5-way structure, you're going to get some choppiness to the downside in the opposite direction, meaning like that's your initial trend, right, to the upside. You got your impulsiveness, and to the downside you could get any type of correction. All right, it could be it could be also impulsive to the downside, it could be choppy and all that good stuff, right? But the most important thing regarding the correction, right, is like, is it slow compared to your previous impulsiveness? That's the most important. Sometimes you're going to get some impulsive moves to the downside. For instance, if you take a look at the move right here, right, you could be saying like it is an impulsive move because it dropped pretty quickly, right? That move was pretty impulsive, pumped pretty quickly. That move, pretty impulsive and all that good stuff, right? But the most important is like, you got to be asking yourself, is it a correction? The overall move, is it a correction? You see what I'm saying? The move you had right here, you can see like it is a smooth, smooth pump to the upside. This move is pretty choppy, and it took a long time to basically retest your supports and all that good stuff, right? So that's what we had right here in terms of BTC. The move we had, the move we had since like the not August, but since the COVID dump, right, was pretty impulsive, right? Pretty impulsive, nothing choppy. It took like nearly what, 12 months, like let's see, just about like a 12 month to complete the entire parabolic moves, right, from like a March 2020 till basically April March 2021. So nearly for 12 months this guy basically pumped like a 20x, right, and all that good stuff. You take a look at the move we had back in 2019, very parabolic, right? You can see, let me show you all the Leroys, right there. Okay, very parabolic moves. Take a look at the opposite move, right? It was pretty choppy. This one took only like 6 months. This one took like over nearly we picked in June and we bottom in March, so let's say 10 months. But take a look at the timing was very choppy. It took forever to give you a proper setup and all that good stuff, right? A similar move is also the correction we had back in 2018. You can see like very choppy. You're not getting anything impulsive. The only thing you got impulsive was like the capitulation. And whenever you hear capitulation, you know, you're talking about like something very rapid in terms of like dropping, right? People are getting like some sort of fear and all that good stuff, and you know, and all that nonsense actually, and you know, basically selling the bottom and be looking to buy the top later on and all that good stuff, right? So that's going to lead us to our current structure, right? The correction we had since like you know, November 2021 right here all the way down to November 2022 is 12 months, but take a look at the you know, the sideways dump, okay? Very choppy, okay? Even though it was choppy overall, you still got some impulsiveness from like a 69k down to like a 34k. It was pretty rapid. The move down from like a 32 down to like a 21 was also pretty rapid. But the overall correction phase was what, you know, very choppy. That's what I try to explain to you right here, between impulsive and choppiness, right? So when we say we got five-way structure, I'm not saying five-way structure in numbers, right, Leroy, but in letters, okay? So we could say we got five letters down, right? Whenever we say whenever we use letters, right? For me, whenever I use letters, right, you know, I tend to refer to something corrective. That's why we say like ABC correction, right? WXY, you know, XZ correction or WXY correction. All of them are just corrective waves, right? So if I'm saying like this move, it is a corrective waves, right? It means we're going to get something impulsive, right? Possibly in the opposite direction of our corrective wave actually, right? So that was our correction. We're looking for something impulsive. Leroy, I'm not saying it's gonna go up there, right? But I'm saying like in the opposite direction, we're looking for something impulsive, right? So you're gonna be like, Sen, how do we know when the five-way structure is done? Okay, so the best way to know if your five-way structure either to the upside or to the downside, corrective or impulsive, it doesn't matter. What you need to look for is what, some sort of divergences, right? For instance, right now we're getting a five-way structure to the downside, right? Let me change the color to yellow, right? So that's our impulsive move to the upside, right? So just imagine, right? Both of these are five-way structure, but the only difference is like the one to the upside, it is a five-way structure in numbers, right? And the one to the downside, it is a five-way structure in letters. But what do they have in common, right? Divergences, right? Between your wave 3 and wave 5 and your wave Y and Z right here. All right, so if you don't know what a divergence is, right, you might not, you know, you don't want to short the market if you don't know what a divergence is, right? Or you don't want to long the market, so just hold it, right? So a divergence is when your indicators are doing something, right, and your price action is doing the opposite. Or either way you want to say it, your price action is doing something and your indicators your indicators are doing the opposite. Meaning like what we had right here. Let's take a look at it on the weekly. Right at the top, right at 69k and 64k. If you join your your picks, right, your picks in terms of like indicators, you can see right there, right, you got your tops, right? If I use my MACD from top to bottom, right, high right here, you got your next high lower than your previous high. But take a look at your indicators, right? I mean, take a look at your price action. This one was what, 64, and that one was what, 69. So higher highs, lower highs, So that is a sign of a bearishness, right? So we caught that move and we said, okay, you know, we want BTC to go up to 100k, 180, 300k, but we just have to suck it up, right? Because we're starting to get some divergences on our weekly, so there is no need to be, you know, there is no need to be extremely bullish right now, because we could be seeing some lower prices and all that good stuff. So if you go back and watch my videos like back in November 2021, right, we talk about it, especially on the 3D, right? So now I just showed you the weekly divergence, right? Now you're gonna be like, okay, we know you just showed us like our bearishness to the upside, but how do we know our bullishness to the downside? That's the same concept, okay? To the downside, you're going to be looking for something like that, right? Your price action making lower lows, right? You got your first low right here, 17.5, 18k. Your second low, 15k. Okay, that's lower low. Okay, but take a look at your indicator, especially your MACD. What was your MACD doing? Right there, was still pumping to the upside. And we talk about it. I said it clearly, right? Even though the trend is still down, right? We are starting to print some divergences, but we don't know at what price level we could be confirming the divergence is valid. That was the only problem. That's why I was saying needed to buy at 18k and lower, because you just don't know how low your next low going to be, right? Your next low could have been like, you know, 15.5. Okay, it was already 55, 15k, 14k, whatever. So you just don't know, right? And all that good stuff. Now take a look at your RSI right here, right? Most bears right, they're ignoring these small details. Okay, these are small details, guys. Anyone can see this. Okay, even if you're not a trader, guys, you got to be, you know, you got to be very, very cautious with your analysis, right? Sometimes these little details, right, you might be saying, it is just a divergence, it's gonna dump, you know, later on and all that good stuff. Sucker pump like over 10,000 points, right? Nearly over 10,000 points, right? From like a 15.5 to like a, you know, 25.5. And bears over the last 90 days or even more than 90 days, they've been saying like we're going to dump down to 4k and all that good stuff, right? So, and they've been calling for some hidden bearish divergences and all that good stuff. I'm asking myself, why would I be looking for something hidden, right, if I see something apparent? Okay, this is clear, a bullish divergence. Okay, would you basically trade a hidden bearish divergence, right, over a normal bullish divergence? I wouldn't. Okay, even though a hidden bearish divergence, okay, it is a valid divergence. You know, your indicators, you know, making higher highs, and you know, your price action making lower highs. Yes, but what you know what I'm gonna do with this? Okay, what I'm gonna do with my indicator showing me right here a low, right, another high low. What I'm gonna do with it? Am I just gonna completely ignore it, right, and say we're going to dump down to 4k and all that good stuff? I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't. Okay, but if you're comfortable of ignoring this reversal pattern, just like what I just showed you right here, your wave Y and your wave Z, right, making some lower lows, and your indicators in terms of MACD and or RSI, depending on which one you like to use, making some higher lows, you don't want to ignore it, because it is a sign of a reversal to the opposite direction. Okay, how high will it go? That is a different analysis, right? Because you have to use your fibs, you have to use your you know, moving averages and all that good stuff, and basically let the price action to direct you. Okay, so basically in terms of Elliott wave analysis, we got some pretty good evidences, right, why BTC could have bottomed, right, back in November, right, just by like a first week of November during the XTZ FTX, okay, or the XTZ moon boy about to stop me, right? So during the FTX FUD, right there, because we had our divergence right here, you know, in terms of Wmacd and in terms of RSI, pretty apparent. And now we back above our weekly 21 EMA, right? So it is looking good. So now the next question going to be, how high could we go? How high could we go? Remember, in terms of Elliott wave just going to show you the pattern. Okay, most of the time Elliott wave doesn't tell you exactly where is going to be your next target, right? It is just going to tell you, hey, we got 5-way structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if you want to use letters, W, X, Y, X, Z, you got your divergence, we about to pump, right? But in order to get targets, right, you got to use your Fibonacci's. That's one way to do it. Or you can use your moving averages, depending on which time frame you like to use. If you like to use, you know, your weekly, monthly, you know, quarterly, yearly, 5 years, whatever time frame you know you're comfortable with, right? But I'm comfortable, okay, with the monthly, right? When it comes to the you know, to the macro level, okay? So when we take a look at it on the monthly basis first, before we talk about the Fibonacci's, right? So when we take a look at it on the monthly first, right? Now we're done with the Elliott wave. The Elliott wave just give us our direction, and at the same direction and basically reversal. That's it, right? Now we're looking for a price level to look for, right? When we take a look at it on the monthly, we got our monthly 21 EMA right there, sitting at 2777, right? If BTC can break above our monthly 21 EMA, right, we now could be looking for BTC to push higher in terms of like a Fibonacci's. Okay, if we do a swing high from 69K, 69 Leroy, right, and the lows, right at 15.5 at the monthly 100 EMA, we can see our directional trend can still push up to 27.7. Okay, I'm not saying 27.7 going to be the top. It is just a directional trend. It could be 28, you know, 29, or even 30K, or even 32K, right? But in terms of moving averages, right, our monthly 21 EMA, it is going to be an indicator, or you know, and you know, a moving average, right? We want to be paying attention to going into March or even April and all that good stuff, right? If you're a moon boy, right, you could use the monthly 20, right? The monthly 20 MA, it is right at 30. Leroy gonna love this one, right at 34K. Okay, but since we've been like pretty constant with our monthly 21 EMA, we will keep, you know, watching our monthly 21 EMA over the next like a few weeks to see if we can break it. And once we break it, we could be targeting the next moving average, right, which is going to be our monthly 20 MA, right? The monthly 20 MA, right, give or take, right? Just about like a 34K, right? And the reason I'm mentioning the monthly 20, I think I said it one time before, I'm going to repeat it, right, for the first time. The monthly 20 is quite important in terms of like a macro directional breakdown. Okay, just a side note, right? Whenever your monthly 20 MA, right, crosses below your monthly 21 MA in a macro downtrend, right, whenever your monthly 21 EMA crosses below your monthly 20 MA, you tend to drop 50%. All right, I'm going to repeat it for Leroy's. Whenever your monthly 21 EMA, right, hopefully that's what I first said, right, 21 EMA crosses below your monthly 20 MA, you tend to, you know, drop 50%. Right, whenever you get a, you know, bullish crossover, your monthly 21 EMA, yellow line, crossing above your monthly 20 MA, we tend to be in a bull market, right? So now let's take a look at what happened back in 2018. Monthly 21 EMA, that's your yellow line, crossing below, right, your monthly 20 MA, bang, drop from 6K down to 3K. Okay, now take a look at it right here. Monthly 21 EMA crossed bullish, right, above your monthly 20 MA, right? Yes, we did dump slightly, but did not spend like a quarter or so below it, right? We pumped all the way up to 69K. The next example is right here. Your monthly 21 MA right there crossed below your monthly 20 MA. We dumped over 50%. Okay, and I said it right here. If you guys recall, back in even before we retested our 21s, our 20 and 21 MAs and EMAs, I said it. Once we close below our monthly 21 EMA, we will capitulate 50% or more. If you've been following our channel, so in this channel, we just don't talk about BTC moving like 5%, 10%. We tend to basically give like directional trend as low as 50% and as high as 10x. Okay, especially on alt. Right. So we caught this entire move. That's why I was saying back in Q2, right? If we drop down to a 21K plus minus 10%, we could be moving sideways and all that good stuff, right? Because of the 50% drop we anticipated back in Q1. Okay, so now let's take a look at it. Right? Before we take a look at it in terms of Fibonacci, let me take a look at the chat room to see if we have any question. Crypto and peanut butter jelly says 170K after the halving. Okay, possibly. Okay, I think we could hit like anywhere between 150 to 180K, right? But you don't want to wait till after the halving to start buying, because things could be moving very, very fast, right? After the halving, you're probably only going to have, let's say 9 to 12 months, stuff like that, before the next peak, right? So, and most of the time BTC halving, right, tend to occur, right, around the monthly 21 EMA, after we regain control of the monthly 21 EMA. So that's why I'm saying, even if we regain control of the monthly 21 EMA and lose it this year, we're most likely going to regain it, right, within the next 12 months after that, right? So it is always good to be buying BTC 50% below the monthly 21 EMA. It is one of the most constant moving average, right? You want to be paying attention to, right, for the 4 years cycle and all that good stuff, right? And I've been saying it over the last few years, 50% below the monthly 21 EMA, it is always a good buy. That's why I was referring to like a 18K. The reason for that was like, after we drop below the monthly 21 EMA, right? I mean, before we drop below the monthly 21 EMA, right? The monthly 21 EMA was right around like a 37, 38, right? And if you take a look at it, 50% below it, right? 50% below it, right, was right around like a 19K. Okay, depending on how how accurate you are. So that's why that's why I was saying during the summer, just have to be buying at 18K and lower, right? That way you cover yourself from the 50% drop below the monthly 21. Because if you don't buy 50% below the monthly 21 EMA and sucker pump back up above the monthly 21 EMA, you will be forced to be FOMOing. Okay, you will be forced to be FOMOing, and if price action dumps again, bears going to be showing up. If, like, let's say we retest the monthly 21 and capitulate back down to retest some sort of prices, some sort of levels and all that good stuff, most of the bears going to be coming out of their caves and say, hey, I told you that was a fake out. I told you that was a liquidity grab and all that good stuff. We're still gonna dump down to 4K, and sucker gonna do something like that, right? So just have to be very cautious depending on how you're trading it. I'm not giving this explanation based on leverage trading, like you know, 15-second chart, 10-second charts, and all that good stuff. We talking about like the next 12, 18 month, 36 month. Okay, not in terms of like a you know, talking about BTC for the next like a couple of hours, right? Where you're going to be doing a 100x, and the very next second you get wrecked, stuff like that, or close to it, right? So something to keep in mind going forward regarding the monthly cycle. And at the same time, I said it in my public Telegram group, I think, right, and in the premium group also. 18 months before the halving, that's the best time to be buying BTC. That's why I was saying back in November, just have to suck it up. We at 18 months before the halving, right? The next halving going to be May 2024, right? Back then I was saying, like, if you buy here and you buying for the macro for the next 18 months to 36 months, you buying at the best price. In terms of timing, that's the best price. Even if it goes lower, the lowest we could have basically gone down to would have been like the monthly 100 SMA, which was somewhere around like a 13K to a 12.5K and all that good stuff, right? So it did not worth the risk, right? Waiting for 12K. I'm not talking about 10K, because most bears think like we have to drop down to 10K and even 4K because of the bubble pop, whatever they call it, or you know, the bubble dump, right? If you guys recall back in 2018, right, we had what, the hyperwave, and the hyperwave was calling for what, 1K. I even fell for it, right, at some point, right? They were saying like, oh, all hyperwaves, right, have to drop, you know, back down to support 99% and all that good stuff. So I was a doom boy, and I fell for it. And you know, after we got the macro bottoming, okay, around 3K, 3,500 and all that good stuff, I was like, there's no way we're going to drop down to a 1K. Okay, and we never retested 1K. BTC pumped from like a 3K to 14K very rapidly in a matter of 6 months, right? 3K to 14K, and most people started to say, oh, now we're going to 50K, and sucker basically dumped right back down to retest the support. So everyone who missed the anti-pump, they want BTC to repeat the same exact pattern again, where we pump, like they said, from a 4K to 69K and dump back down to a 4K. How long are we going to be making these moves, right? It's very, you know, it has a low probability, right, for BTC to keep on making these pump and dump, push to the upside, drop, retest the bottom, push to the upside, drop, retest the bottom, push to the upside, drop, retest the bottom, push to the upside. So how long are we going to be making these waves? It just doesn't make sense to me. Just because we retested the bottom right here doesn't mean we have to retest it this time. Okay, and that's the first time also BTC broke below its previous all-time high. We never experienced anything like that, never. Okay, and this was the first time also BTC dumped back down to retest its previous support. We never experienced anything like that, right? So we just have to be very, very cautious, you know, how we're looking at the market and all that good stuff, right? I'm going to remain bullish, right, as long as we're above our weekly 21 EMA. Okay, I'm going to remain bullish, right, as long as we above our weekly 21 EMA. I can still remain bullish below the weekly 21 EMA, right, but it will depend on what, our 3D Wmacd. Okay, if our 3D Wmacd stays positive, okay, or starts to be giving us like some sort of bullishness, I might still be bullish even if price retests below the weekly 21. So we will need to be watching very, very cautiously, right, before we turn bearish, right? Or at least Send Crypto and Leroy, we have to watch our 3D MACD. It's been pretty, it's been pretty, I would say helpful, right? Helpful over the last 12 to 14 months, or even over the last 3 years. If you've been following me long enough, in my premium, we've been nailing all the macro tops and bottom based on what? Based on the 3D time frame. All right, we're not missing the bottom like, for like a 50% move, right? Stuff like that. And we did not even miss the bottom because we were saying to buy at 18K. You see what I'm saying? So we didn't miss the top right here, because right there, as soon as we broke out below our 3D 21 EMA 58K, we said it's time to suck it up, right? We're going to be dumping because our MACD flipped to negative, and we dumped below our 3D 21. That was pretty pretty clear. So if you've been following our channel, we said pack your bags. Okay, pack your bags, because we just don't know if we are in a macro downtrend or if we are in a small downtrend, but we will not be taking any risk, right? So hopefully that's clear, right? So let me take a look at the chat room to see if we have any question. Is this 24,586? The sucker is pumping again. So let's go ahead and take a look at it in terms of Fibonacci really quickly once again, right? So in terms of Fibonacci's, one thing I'm looking at is pretty simple. I'm just going to keep it very, very easy to remember and very easy to spot, right? So I'm going to be looking for two things. The first one, 50% pullback, going to be at 32K area, right? And we are pretty familiar with 32K. If you followed me back in June, guys, June, I said it clearly, 32K going to be our resistance before dropping down to 21K plus minus 10%. So that same price level, we will just have to respect it. It is slightly above our monthly 21 EMA at 2777, right? So we just have to respect it. That's a 50% pullback from swing low to swing high, right? I'm just going to repeat it for Leroy once again, right? The next one going to be the 0.618, which is at 39K to 40K area, right? From the swing high to swing low once again, right? But once again, we got to get back above our monthly 21 EMA around 27,777, right? So hopefully that makes sense, right? And if we break out above it, we will start to talk about some moon analysis, but I don't think we will stay above 40K for like a 3 month or so, okay? By May, June, based on the previous cycles, just have to pack our bags and wait for like a 3 to 6 months again, because price action could be moving sideways. Okay, it could even dump down to retest the support, but I don't know what it will do. I just don't know. But all I know is by May, June, we just have to start being very, very cautious and take any and every single bearishness seriously. Okay, hopefully it makes sense for all the Leroys. So Crypto and Peanut Butter Jelly says, what altcoin will perform the best? I don't know. I really don't. Okay, these guys are crazy. Okay, the altcoin you think like going to go to zero might be the altcoin that's going to be performing the best. The altcoin you think like going to perform the best might be the altcoin that performed the least. Okay. Hey, what's up, Craig? Moonboy, thanks a lot for tuning in. 589. We got Craig, we got Jude, Moonboy, Mr. XRP, 589 in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. We got Jude, Moonboy, still waiting for XRP to hit 589. So So we're done with BTC. I think that's all I wanted to cover on the macro. Let's see if I can cover anything on the lower degree. I'm just gonna take a look at the 6 hour to hourly time frame. So on a 6 hour basis, let's take a look at the hourly, because I think I made the video for the premium group, okay, on Friday. I think Friday or Thursday, whatever, right? But last week. So it was a so on the hourly basis, let me just remove all. Before I remove it, let's take a look at it on the chart, right? Because I think, guys, I told you guys, I'm giving you one of the best analysis, because I really don't care what the market does, right? As long as I follow the trend, okay? I'm giving you one of the best analysis. I'm not saying I'm the best, right? But I'm giving you one of the best analysis that I'm 100% sure, right? Not 99%, but 100% sure, right? So this doesn't mean I cannot be wrong, but all I'm saying is when I make an analysis, I try to make it like, try to basically go with the highest probability, right? That's what I mean, giving you the best analysis, right? So all the I look for the higher probability setups, right? So when you take a look at it on the hourly, if you follow me on Twitter, I said it on Friday. BTC gave us a trading range. The range was 25.2. If you Leroy, you look for 25.3, right? And the bottom range, the top range was 25.3. The bottom range 23.6 to a 23.4, right? Right there. That's what I said in my premium, right? And I mean, even in the public group, right? And back then, BTC was right around like a 24.8, 24.6, even before it retested again 25.2, right? So it dumped down here. I was like, BTC doesn't make wedge patterns like that. It's not very, it's not frequent for BTC to make these type of patterns, right? And break out to the upside. That's why I did not fall for it. I even said it in the video, right? If we make this pattern, I just let it be, right? And see what is it going to do. But it's not very frequent for BTC to make a wedge pattern like that. You don't tend to see it a lot, right? So let me know if you've seen it before, where BTC created a wedge, ascending wedge pattern and break out to the upside. It's not very frequent, right? So I said it. So what were we looking for on the hour is like, a double top, double bottom, and we got that. And what we said was like our indicators, our moving averages going to cross all negative if we get the double top, double bottom. So what we will be looking for is like another bullish crossover in these indicators. Okay, they got to flip bullish again for the trend to a strongly reverse to the upside. Even though we just got a pop to the upside, that might be a quick pop based on the hourly time frame. It could have basically move sideways a bit and get back above the 21 EMA and allow these moving averages to all cross bullish near the bottom, right? But nevertheless, it is still a good pop, right? And the main thing we were looking for is resistance right here, 25.2, support 23.6 to a 23.4. We hit 23.6 exactly, right? So looks like a clean ABC correction, A, B, and C correction. You could say WXY also, but I think ABC is good enough, right? ABC correction, and we could be looking for a possible, a possible one-to-one extension to the upside. So if we can get the MACD on the 6 hour to cross positive, right here, price action is pushing to the upside. That's the good news. Now we got to push higher to push our MACD to flip positive. That could wreck all the bears. Okay, that will wreck all the bears, just like what we had right here. Double top, double bottom. And I said it in my premium. If we get this, take a look at what happened right here. And I said it in my premium back then. We were looking for 25.6, 25.4, not 25.6, 25.4, but 20,500 to 20,400 near the 6 hour 21. Printed a beautiful double top, double bottom right here. Come back, Leroy. A double top, double bottom right here, and push to the upside, nearly 18 to 20% move. And I said if our MACD crosses positive, we're going to get a strong uptrend. So right here, we're creating the same exact move again as we did back in January, mid-January, right here. So if our 6 hour MACD crosses positive, to confirm with 100% probability, right? I would say 99%, right? We could be looking for an extension of the previous move. This move right here to the top, right? If you want to extend it, take this one. That's the same move. Put it at the bottom. That's going to take us right there. 27,777, give or take, or 28K. Right here. What a move. What a move if we get that move. Okay. But once again, we got to get our 6 hour MACD, right? So if you bought the dips right here, right, just have to suck it up and wait. Okay. Just have to suck it up and wait, right? Just have to suck it up and wait, right? And I don't think it will be a straight moonshot like we had right here, but if we get it, we will just enjoy it. Okay, so what will it take, right, to invalidate the possibility of going from this point to that point right now? Is like to break below this point. That's it. And if that's the case, right, the MACD probably might not cross negative, right? And it could do something like that. Give us a strong negative momentum right there. And we could be looking for a retest of 0.618 or 50% pullback, somewhere around like a 22,777 to 22.5, give or take. All right. But as of now, I'm going to stay with the proper analysis we had since Friday. Right, 25.2 to 23.6 to 23.4, and a possible reversal all the way up to our monthly 21. Hopefully it makes sense, right? Right. Okay. So now let's take a look at it in terms of a candles pattern, right? Let's take a look at it. Ooh, market is green. Link is 7% up. Let's see. Now let's take a look at the 3-week cycle. Okay, because the 3-week cycle, it is starting to be interesting to to be looking at our 3-week cycle. Okay, so the 3-week cycle will close. If you don't know what a 3-week cycle is, it's just basically, just like the monthly cycle, right? You look for a 3 weeks time frame, right? Or I like to call it the 21 days, right? So if you take a look at the 3-week cycle, I said it right here. If you recall, when after BTC closed the first 3-week cycle, and most bears were saying like we're going to drop back down to retest the bottom. What I said was like, you guys must be blind. Okay, take a look at this guy, how big it is. It's not any type of a pump, right? It was a 40% pump, right, from the bottom, right? So I don't think we will drop back down in a 3-week candle to retest it. I don't think we would, right? So, and we didn't. Now you take a look at our current 3-week cycle, open on back in February 12, and we'll close by March 5th. I just don't see this candle closing by March 5th below 22k. Could we retest it before March 5th? Yes, but closing below 22 would be devastating for all moon boys, including myself. Temporary moon boy. Okay, so bandwagon moon boy, you can call me too, bandwagon moon boy. Okay, so based on the 3-week cycle, I just don't see us closing below 22 within the next like 10 days. I could be totally wrong, and I would be, would be saying like I'm wrong, right? But I just don't see it happening as of now. Things could change within the next couple of days. That could make me change my mind, but as of now, it looks pretty juicy. Okay, so the next 3-week cycle could be very challenging, because if bears wants to basically retest 15k, they have to eliminate the previous 3 weeks bullish candle, meaning like we got to get what? An engulfing candle from March 5th to March 26th, right? If bears can print a candle next to our current candle, right? Something like that, right? A red candle right next to it, fully engulfing the current candle, we could be saying, oh gosh, now it's time to dump. All right, and where do I get this pattern from? All right, I got it. We got one from here, right? But I mainly got this pattern, right, from 2018. 3 weeks engulfing, dump. 3 weeks engulfing, dump. 3 weeks engulfing, dump, all the way down to 3k. 2014, 3 weeks engulfing, dump. 2020, 3 weeks engulfing, dump. Okay, but we got an outlier. Okay, right there, 3 weeks engulfing, pump. But it is kind of funny, right? Because I was bullish after the 3 weeks dump right here. That was like that was the first week of September 2020, and I wasn't bullish based on the 3 weeks bearishness right here, but I was bullish based on other thing. Okay, the 3D cycle. Okay, because back then our 3D MACD was positive, right? Our MACD, our price action was above our 21 EMA. So I was like, even though we got this negative momentum right here, I'm just gonna suck it up and go with the 3 weeks. With the 3D cycle. All right, so that's why. And everyone and their mother was not mother but grandma. Okay, everyone, okay, was waiting for 9700 back then, and I was bullish at 10k exactly, guys. 10k exactly. I was saying like, guys, we're going back up to your 11.5, and if we break out above 11.5, we're going to the moon. Especially if we break out above 13.5 by October 20th, we're going to the moon. Right? Why October 20th? That's going to be a different analysis, right? Because I don't want to be analyzing the past too much, right? So that's what I think bears need to do to basically reverse the price. It doesn't have to be like that exactly. The candle could do something like that too, right? Within the next 3 weeks following our current 3-week cycle, starting on March 5th, March 6th, whatever. Okay, so however, this guy could also be a very bullish candle, right? And pump to the upside between March 5th to end of March, pump all the way up to 32k. So I'm gonna remain bullish, right, until we get some bearishness on the 3D up to the weekly. Okay, just a side note, right, regarding the 21 EMA. So regarding the 21 EMA, right? We just have to go back to 2015. Okay, back in 2015, right? 2015, Leroy. After we bottomed right at 160, okay, we managed to push back up towards our monthly 21 EMA at $320, and dump right back down to retest the bottom. Right? Dump right back down to retest 0.618. Okay, so that's the only thing, right? I should be, or we could be cautious about. So if you see me talking about like monthly 21 EMA, that's one of the reasons. That's why I'm not 99% bullish, right? I'm not I'm not extremely bullish, right? When it comes to the monthly 21, but I'm still bullish. I think that we can break above it. But when I take a look at the 2015 bottom right here, you know, it basically rejected the price action at the monthly 21 EMA, near the monthly 21 EMA, or 3 weeks 21 EMA. You know, however you want to look at it, right? Right there. They actually hit it right there. The monthly 21/3 weeks 21 EMA. Because the volatility was so low, they all become like one moving average. Your 3 weeks and your 21 EMA. Okay, and we retested, you know, 0.618. But that dump was only in terms of price. Okay, the correction only, you know, it only corrected in terms of price, not in terms of time. What does it mean? It means like it just capitulated and kept on pumping. So it did not dump and stay here like for another 3 to 6 months. You see what I'm saying? So that's a good news. At the same time, when we take a look at our current structure, right? If for whatever reason we do not break above our monthly 21 EMA, for whatever reason, you know, black swan, you know, the gut ring, right? The bubble pop resistance and all that good stuff, right? We could, okay, we could still dump back down 50% to a 0.618. That's possible, because I just showed you back in 2015 it did that exactly. But I'm not relying on it. I'm not relying on it as of now until we get a 3D, at least a 2D to 3D bearishness. You know, that move could be a very quick move in a 2 to 3 weeks time frame. Dump, capitulate 40%, 50%, and then resume the uptrend. I know most players gonna be like, oh, that'd be nice. I'm not saying it will drop down to 10K, okay? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if and only if we get the monthly 21 EMA rejection, we could crash back down 50% to 0.618. Okay, down to 50%. Fibonacci, okay, Fibonacci, right? Let me use the fibs, okay, Fibonacci. Before Leroy says we're gonna dump 60%, right? So Fibonacci, depending on where the rejection going to start at, right? So if you're a bear, I mean, you still, you know, you still got a slight probability. I would say 10 to 15% probability to get that move. And if you're a bull, you don't have anything to lose if you bought at 18K or lower and took profit at 25K. And if it hits 27K, take another profits, take some more profits. And if it dumps back down, you'd be like, bang, this is it. I'm just gonna add on. Within the next 2 to 3 months, we could be pushing back above 30K. That's my macro view as of now. Okay, February 22nd, 2023. All right. So I'm gonna take some chart requests. We got hash rate 87, 84, 1356 and a half. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If we under two moving averages, do you think we can make it up for the 21 EMA on the first go. I don't know what you mean. Let me think about what you're trying to say, Mr. Hash Rate. I mean, we are, you know, we are not just below 2 moving averages. We are below multiple moving averages, depending on which one you're looking at. So do you think we can make it up back? So Hank, you might, not Hank, but Hash Rate 87, 84, 13, 56. You might want to rephrase it so I can understand what you're saying. Hank in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in. Brandon, what's up, man? Mr. Hashrate. Mr. Hashrate says Leroy, USD stands for US dollar. You can write it down if you're getting confused. Yeah, Leroy will. Leroy must get confused too with that USD. He might think like it means us dumping. David, what's up, man? Thanks a lot for tuning in, David. HOCHEVAR. Can you look at commies? Okay, we'll take a look at CUMMIES. You're okay, Hash Rate. So now let's go ahead and take a look at some of these alt. We'll start with Mana. Let's take a look at it. Take a look at it on the 3D. Okay, so on the 3D it looks like we're in a bull flag. Okay, so it has to basically hold above the 60 cents to give it a higher probability to a breakout, right? So we got our August high at 110 to 111 range, right? As of now we are 70 cents, the current price of Mana. Okay, so if we dump lower, you could be looking for some fibs as support, and 50% to 0.618 going to be 48 cents to 42 cents. So let's see what the indicators are saying. Uh, 3D, it is still bullish, so nothing crazy in terms of the 3D. Let's take a look at it on the weekly. On the weekly, you got a good news. We're back above the weekly 21. Bull flagging above it, not breaking it, not closing below it. You got your monthly 21 EMA at right around $1, so that's a good news. Your August high, your August high right around like a 110, 111. So it looks pretty good as of now. Nothing dramatic. Okay. Just have to hold the weekly time frame. If not, if it capitulates, you got 0.618 to a 50% pullback. Okay, now Shiba. So SHIB is also in a double top right here, possible double bottom, double top pattern, looking to retest the 1800s, right, 1700s range. I saw it right here when it was like around 1100, but I just didn't feel like trading it back then, so I just let it go. But it looks good. Look for the resistance at 1800 to a 1700 range, right? And after that we will take a look at it. But SHIB really, you know, anything at 1,000 to 800 range, the previous accumulation back in August 2021, right there, we were very bullish on SHIB, guys. We nailed this Shiba move right there. I was bullish too early, around like 8, I think like 600, 700 range, right? And that's where we got out exactly. Okay, that's where we got out exactly, right, at the top. And I was like, wait for it to retest the you know, macro support again. And guess what? Right here. So if you follow that move, you know, you just accumulated at the bottom again. Okay, but it looks good. Okay, we'll see if it can break above 1800, right? If it breaks it, you could basically look for 50% pullback at 2400, 2500 range, and 0.618 at 3300 range. But you need to break above 1800 first, right? Weekly indicators, super jullish. Okay, super jullish right there. You know what I mean, right? Even though we did not double bottom in terms of price, but you know, if I want to make myself looks good or feel good, I could use the line graph. You double bottom on your line graph right there. So sometimes that's why I keep saying, if price action retests 85, 90% of the bottom, just look at it as a divergence. You don't have to create low lows, really, right? Because not everyone trades these candles, right? Some people trade the line graph. So it's already 1 hour. Let's see. Okay, Hank, that's you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Bezos. So Bezos, as I said, I mean, I talk about it. Bezos and EOS, right? They got same pattern, right? So we've been following both of them, Bezos and XDZ. That's what I mean, Bezos, right? Because Hank thinks like a we with Bezos, right? So we hit that 145, just about the November resistance right here. So it could take time to break it, and once we break it, we're going up to our $2 to 220 range, just like EOS. Once EOS breaks above that 140, EOS is still sitting around 120, and we talked about EOS when it was 95 to 105. We're still looking for that $2 range, but it could take time. Some of these guys, they're very lazy. They don't want to give us any popcorn moves. So but some of these alt are pretty volatile, like AVAX, AXS, you know, Filecoin. When they go into the upside, they're pretty volatile. The problem is, like, they're also volatile on the downside. So if you're trading those, yes, you can make a quicker profits, but remember, when they dump 20% out of nowhere. So you have to be, if you're short-term trading those AVAX, AXS, especially Filecoin also, right? You know, you have to be, you know, you have to know the risk involved with those coins, right? They're pretty volatile, okay? Especially AVAX and AXS, right? AXS gave me AXS can give you some tough time, right? And AVAX also. But if you're patient with them, you know, they can give you some crazy moves, right? So let's take a look at Dodge for Shani. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Miss Shah or Mr. Shah. Okay, so Dodge, it is bull flagging, just like a XRP, right? But I think if Dodge going to pump, it could pump out of nowhere, right? You know, it has a temporary flat correction right there, right? That's a slightly bearish pattern, as it could, you know, do something like that and still go up, right? That's a bearishness, okay? However, the bullishness is like, you look at it as a double bottom, not a double bottom, double top right here. And this move right here is just correcting in terms of a flat correction, right? And once we close above, you know, 10 cents, right? Something like that, it could be shooting up to like a 16 cents and all that good stuff. So it is a very complicated pattern, kind of like a uni, right? Slightly looks like uni, right? And slightly looks like a XTZ too, right? So 16 cents is the resistance you want to be paying attention to in the first quarter, and support right here just by like a 7 cents as of now, right? Which is your possible triple bottom right there, okay? Or a possible triangular formation, whichever it prints, right? Yeah, we'll see. One, you got your 3 moves, right? So I think somebody mentioned SNX. Nope. Let's take a look at this coin called CU. Yeah, I mean it's just at the bottom, okay? It came out back in May 20, kind of like Shiba came out back in May. If that's the coin you're talking about, okay? Not sure, but I'm still gonna give you some analysis on it, okay? Back in May 2021, right there, created the double top, double bottom right there. November 2021, actually, right? I mean, this coin gave us the entire blueprint of our current bear market. this pattern, this guy created it like back in August, let's say between July 2021, right, through October 2021. That's the same pattern we got in Q1 2022. So this guy basically gave us the pattern like 6-9 months ahead of time. Before capitulator, okay? So just a bottom formation right here. I could be popping back up to retest the resistance right here around like 007. Okay, if we break it, you could be looking for your previous support to act as resistance. Let me draw the line properly for the moon boys, around like a 0.02. But the good news is that it retested the absolute bottom, okay? Pundi X, let's see, STX. Yeah, STX pumps nice. So as you can see here, we've been talking about the August 2020 resistances, right? STX already pumped above it, and now it is above its monthly 21 EMA, okay, which is your weekly 100 EMA. That's the good news right there, okay? So it looks pretty nice. I would just hold it if you're holding it. Wait for the next couple of months to see what is he gonna do, because I don't think we will drop. Like, if it drops, it's gonna capitulate. Now it is likely to move sideways if we're going to drop, and wait for the rest of the market to agree with the reversal, and it could basically reverse with the market. But as of now, we just wait for confirmation of a reversal. It could be pretty volatile, right, over the next like a few weeks. Yeah, hit 0.618 after a 5-way structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's why I keep saying the bear market could be over, because you don't tend to see like alt pumping this high in a bear market. Okay, so still looking pretty good, right? Let's see. Pundi. PUNDI. Okay, so Pundi looks pretty. Pundi looks like Pundi, right? So you got your double bottom, looks pretty good, right? You got your divergence, looks pretty good. Got your divergence right here, looks pretty good. Just have to suck it up. Okay, resistance all the way up to like a 10 cents, up to, you know, not 10 cents, what I'm thinking about, 90 cents, right up to 110. This guy might be like 10 cents. I better dump this guy right there. Okay, looks pretty good. Just have to hold above your weekly 21. Got to break above the weekly 50 around 63. Looks very juicy, man. Very, very juicy with the double bottom. That's the same double bottom we playing on the EOS. That's why I'm saying like the resistance up to like a, you know, that level of the July highs. Same double bottom we just got on actually on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi got the same double bottom also. Let's take a look at Wi-Fi. Yep. It didn't quite retest the absolute bottom, but you see what I'm saying, right? In terms of divergences, right? Same exact pattern. Same exact pattern. Same divergence, divergence, double bottom, right? You might be like, saying we did not retest the bottom. Yes, we didn't. Okay, we didn't. But as I said, if we retest like 80%, 90% of the bottom, just suck it up. If market is reversing, reverse with the market. So Wi-Fi next resistance right here around like almost 14K. So Wi-Fi is at 8K right now. So I think like bears are confusing BTC and Wi-Fi, saying like we're gonna dump down to 4K. Wi-Fi gave you the 4K. If you're looking for anything 4K, that might be Wi-Fi. Okay. Or if you're looking for anything 8K, that might be for Wi-Fi, not BTC. All the bears will get wrecked, man. So Wi-Fi looks pretty good, right? Okay, you're gonna write BTC first. Says the hash rate 87841356. If I was telling my grandma, no, I won't tell my grandma to buy now. I'm gonna wait till BTC hits 180. Tell her, grandma, I got a good news. BTC about to go to 1 million. I'm gonna show you how to log into your Coinbase account. But I would tell my cousin to buy now. I would tell my cousin to buy now. But remember, I'm not saying to buy now and sell tomorrow. When I say buy now, is for the 150, 170, 180 targets. Okay? Not buy 25, it dumps down to 22. You be like, oh, you told me to buy at 25. Stuff like that. Okay? If you want those, you know, smaller time frame trading, right? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. You join the premium group. I do weekly update, monthly update, and some short-term private update during the week if I see anything interesting. Okay, and we trade alt a lot. We trade BTC. I mainly say keep at least 70% BTC. If these alt pump, right, sell the profits into BTC, right? Not financial advice, right? I'm just telling you based on the previous cycles and what I think could be happening over the next like a 12-18 months, right? Some of these are going to pump 100%, 100%, 200%. If you cannot sell them into USD or USDT, sell them into BTC. BTC is up 700, 600% in the last 4 years. 90% of these alt are at break even over the last 4 years. Okay, XRP 30 cents, 25 cents back in 2019, still around 40 cents. Okay, NEO around like a $6, $7, $8, $10, whatever in 2019, just broke out above $10. after 4 years. BTC was at 3K, 4K area in Q1 2019. Now we're hovering around 25K. If you look right, get your calculator. Right? That's 4K to 25K. Right? That's 5x, 6x, 7x, whatever, if you want to round it up. Okay? So, I keep saying it, alt, they look fun to trade. They are fun to trade, but you cannot marry any alt. Regardless, XRP, XLM, ADA, Luna, Pundi, Shiba, Dogecoin, they're all the same. Okay? They're all the same. You cannot marry, you can't marry any of them. Alright? Marry BTC. Alright? And look for alt to give you like some crazy gains against BTC and sell them back into BTC. But if you try to marry any coin, okay, thinking like it is going to 1000x, they won't. The next 1000 coin, you probably don't even know the name yet. Will they 20x? Yes. 50x? Yes. But you just don't know how crazy they can basically perform also. So in these, within the next 2 to 3 months, 4 months, take profits into BTC. If you cannot take profits into fiat, they will all come back down against BTC. 50%, 60%, and you will get your next chance to reload before the halving. Before the halving, whatever you want to call it, halving, quartering, sixing, whatever you want to call it. Okay. All right. So let me take a look at another alt, Cyclical. Let's take a look at ZIL. Who's calling for ZIL? Okay, so ZIL, I don't know, for some of these alt, I just like to trade them versus BTC. I don't know why, but ZIL, let's take a look at ZIL BTC. Just like I don't know why, right? I like to trade them versus BTC because they look better when you trade them against BTC. Okay, it's not doing much yet against BTC, just consolidating, at around its 2020 prices right here. You can see, that's why I keep saying you have to sell them into BTC. That popped to like a 400. If you sold it right there back then, that was like the first quarter of 2022. I said it. Somebody asked me in one of our public live stream, and I said sell it and wait back for it to retest these lows. So as of now, it is still a hold, right? If you bought the dip right here, if you want to buy it against BTC, you might want to wait till it hits like 100 sats or lower again, right, to reaccumulate it. Okay, but 100 sats and 50 sats, those are the two macro support for Cyclical. Okay, if it pops high up to like a 200 sats, better get ready, to sell some. Let's see. We got Crypto Moon Boy in the house asking for SIDUS. SIDUS looks like it was dead. Dropped 99%. So it was not really dead. So now coming back to the August resistance right here, right? Just about like a 00295. We just call it 003. Okay. If it breaks it, you got your monthly 50 right there. You could also do it in terms of Fibonacci, which basically saying it is a 50% pullback at 0.01. and it's not a big deal. A 99% drop for this alt is, you know, it is pretty common. It's not like, you know, even Filecoin dropped like 98.8, something like that, from like a I think 240 to 250, $240 to $2.50. So that's also 99% drop, right? So that's pretty common, and Filecoin was a top 10 coin, I think, something like that at some point, right? So ADA also dropped 99% back in 2018 peak, from the 2018 peak to the March 2020 bottom, from 130 to like 1.5 cents. So that's 99% drop, right? So it's pretty common, right? Just because your coin dumped that much doesn't mean it's going to zero, right? I mean, not literally zero. They might never go back to all-time high, some of them. But what I mean is, like, they could still give you some, 10, 15, 20x, 30x's, right? So let's take a look at MDX for Pablo S Crypto. So MDX looks pretty good. It is looking good. Just got to pop back up around 1000 sats. That's going to be your resistance, but I just don't know when it will get there. Okay, you got your big resistance all the way up to like 2000 sats. As of now, we're at 400 sats, right? Okay. Right, so it looks good. It is a nice double bottom, right? These pops, they just like to come back down and retest it. It could take forever now before you get that move here, right? Could be doing like this till basically the bull market starts in 2024, stuff like that. It just popped to the upside. Okay, but you got your sideways correction range. You know your range, okay? 400 to 1200, 1100, whatever. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get a black swan. I mean, you don't get black swans like every 2 years, man. Black swans, they come like every, say, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we're going to be getting any black swans. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. If we get a natural disaster, well, that's totally different, okay? I mean, a natural disaster, could be also a black swan, right? Let's take a look at Wu. So Wu is still hovering around the same level, right? Resistance right here. Doesn't look bad. Wmacd is still pointing up. You got your trend line support, Wmacd and RSI. So it looks pretty healthy as of now. You just don't want to get a negative momentum on your Wmacd, okay? So it's pretty new, just about a year, just moving up and down. Say new exchange, right? So it might not go FTX yet. So we'll just hold it and wait for the next 2 to 3 years before it breaks above the all-time high around 3,000. Yeah, You're welcome, Pablo S Crypto. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Let's see if I have talk about Cyclical. So David said, David HO says, maybe wait to see if we get reject at the monthly 21 EMA. If it does drop down below 20k, then definitely accumulate DCA down. Yeah, that is also a possibility. But the problem is you know, the market moves pretty fast, so we can't be waiting and waiting. If the opportunity presents itself, you just have to take it, but not like, oh, I'm waiting for you know, 18k. We hit 18k, you're like, oh no, let me wait for 12k, you know, stuff like that, right? And if it bounces back up to 25k, you'll be like, okay, let me wait for it to hit 18k. And once we dump down to 18k, you'll be like, oops, I was waiting for it, but I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna wait for 12k. Can't be playing that game, man. Most bears, that's what they did when BTC was at you know, 50k. All right, no one believed we're going to drop down to 15k, and we dropped down to 15k. They wanted to wait for 10k. That's only a 30% drop. Right, and we pump over 60% now. You're waiting for a 30% pullback, and sucker pump 100%. What is you gonna do? Right, just hide under the bed, because you don't want to press the buy button at 30k. So you're gonna be hiding, not looking at the chart, because you know if you look at the chart at 30k, you're gonna be FOMOing. Right. Okay, let's take a look at B Pro. I've been checking this chart for a very long time. So B Pro came back down at the macro bottom, macro support above the August high, already around the monthly 21, which is your weekly 100 EMA. So let's see if it's gonna break it. If it breaks it, next resistance going to be right there. Okay, so previously the account for B Pro was like this move around the July lows, being the wave 1, wave 2 actually, but wave 2 could possibly be right here. Okay, if we do not break the absolute low, and now could be looking for wave 3 and so on and so forth, right? After that, wave 5 and all that good stuff, if it plays out like that, right? But this guy looks like it will come back down. So this guy right here looks like it will come back down here. So you just have to accumulate these low monthly, low weekly RSI. So next resistance up to like 008, stuff like that. Right here. Okay, just have to hold the weekly 21 to avoid dropping all the way back down to the absolute bottom. I wouldn't say absolute bottom, but you know, 000555. But got to hold above the weekly 21, and you got your resistance right here, 00666. Okay, let's take a look at DC before calling it a day. Yeah, decrease, okay. I like the chart, and the reason why I like decrease is like it gave us the blueprint of our current I don't know if I ever talk about it, but it's something like I already analyzed on my own. It basically gave us the blueprint of our current bear market / bull market. Okay, the double top it created back in 2018 right here. It is our current double top we created in most alt. You go take a look at FTX. not FTX. FTX went to 0, sorry. FTM, same double top. Okay, and many other alt, dot, BTC, even BTC, right? Many other alt. Okay, we got this double top, right? And now we, it dumped all the way down here, and the move we're currently making right now with this alt could be this move right here we had back in 2019 for decred, before retesting the bottom and going for a macro bull. Okay, so that's why I like decred, not just for trading but for the pattern wise. For pattern wise, it could be something very interesting in the next like a few months. So, but if we take a look at the current trend, similar double bottom as EOS, right, and many other alt, right, Wi-Fi, right, we just talk about it, right? Either you're talking about DCR or DC, okay? But I think you let's just finish up with the decred, right? And you let me know if that's what you meant or not, right? So double bottom right here, double top going to be around the August resistance. It got a wick all the way up to $60 or give or take, but closing basis at $40. Alright, closing basis $40. If it breaks it, we got our Q1 resistance at $66. Two good news. Wmacd printed a bullish divergence on the weekly. RSI printed a bullish divergence on the weekly. That's two. I think we got one more. We're above the weekly 21 EMA. Our weekly 100 EMA going to be all the way up to $50. So we could check it also in terms of Fibonacci's. Bang. We got 382 at $50. We got the weekly 100 EMA at $50, which is the same as your monthly 21 EMA at $50. Right now we are $25. So if bulls can maintain a positive momentum above the weekly 21, there is a high probability chance to retest the $50 range or even higher. But first step, $40, August resistance. Second step, $50. And the third step, $66. At 50% pullback. If and only if we do not break below the weekly 21. Okay, continuously, right? Because sometimes you can dump below it and get right back above it, right? But it looks good overall. I like the chart. I like the chart. You see, sometimes you can get bullish divergences, right, and still dump. So that's why you just have to be very cautious in this market, right, when you trade like a bullish divergences, because this one was a bullish divergence, right? Right there, it was clearly a bullish divergence. But why was I bearish back then? Okay, because your bullish divergence was too low below your histogram. Okay, you want to get your bullishness or your bullish divergences right near your histogram, okay, like right here. All right, that's good. But if you get it like too deep, don't fall for it. The most parabolic moves, you're going to get it once your MACD is above your histogram. That's when you get your biggest moves. But anything below it, yes, you could still pump, but you're not going to get a continuous, a sustainable, a progressive move. You're not going to get it. Okay, you're just going to get some sort of pullbacks. But once we get back above the histogram, especially on the weekly, man, you could be pumping a lot. Okay, decred, right? I already talked about Dodge, man. Yeah, so Dogecoin, you got your resistance up to 16 cents, right? That was your October high right there. So Dogecoin basically gave us the blueprint. If what Dogecoin did, that's what we're going to repeat. It means like most of these alt could pump back up to the April resistance. Okay, April resistance, right? But we will see. Let's try to take out August resistance for most alt first before we start to talk about the April resistance, right? Because I know exactly what happened back in late March, third week of March till basically April, first week of April. I was bullish, okay, for most of these alt. So Dodge resistance up to like a 15-16 cents, support, temporary support just by like a 7 cents. Okay, on the lower degree it has a nice, I wouldn't call it nice, but a probable bull flag forming right here, right? If we break out, don't short it, just stay with the trend all the way up to 16 cents. The reason why we were bearish right here, 11 cents, 12 cents on Dodge, that was because of the monthly 21 EMA. Because in our premium, we said buy right here 5 cents to 7 cents. And once we hit the monthly 21, sell the sucker. That's why we weren't talking about Dodge like back then. Because I said exactly sell it right here and wait for 5 to 7 cents to reaccumulate again. So if you were in our premium, you know exactly what's going on. Okay. And the only other support area below 5-7 cents going to be the 3 cents. But I don't know if we're going to get there. So best thing to do, still like accumulate 5-7 cents if we get there and all that good stuff, right? Because I said it multiple times, based on the previous macro Dodge bull market and all that good stuff, Dodge doesn't break out until BTC breaks above all-time high. So if you're not short-term trading it, you should not worry about Dodge. You just accumulate it constantly and just suck it up. All right, guys, so it's already 1 hour and a half. I'm gonna call it a day. We'll go live next week and all that good stuff. Join the public Telegram group. I'm pretty involved in the in the group, okay? So let's take a look at this last one for David Hernandez. So band not yet breaking out, so let's see. So band not yet breaking out, broke out like in November but got rejected, okay? So the only other resistance we got for band going to be all the way up to $5, which is the April April resistance, Q1 resistance, all right? Q1, Q2, right? Right here. So support still going to be 0.618. If we come back down to retest it, similar to Dodge. Okay, seems like I'm looking at Dodge all over again. Same pattern, right? The only difference is like this guy, I mean, they broke out like around the same time. This guy broke out in November before the FTX dump, November 3rd. So it's November 3rd resistance going to be around like a $3, $3.50. And we got our Q1 resistance. Right there around $5. Okay. So it did have a nice 5-way structure to the upside. So it means it is just under accumulation for the next big move. So the entire range of $4, right, down to $1 range could just be a consolidation range before the next bull market. Okay, because if we go into if we're going to get 1, 2, and wave 3 to the upside, 4 and 5, this guy could go ballistic all the way up to some crazy prices, right? So, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, consolidation, $4 to $3 for the next few months. If it goes high, great, but it will likely to pull back down the road. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Be safe out there. If you're a bear, you know, take profits as we go up. If you're a bull, and all that good stuff.